It speaks to all of us, even 140 years after the fact.
I'd heard about it from my brother-in-law, who had a tremendously good time last year, and I came up specifically for this to Virginia.
Our unique approach to touring Civil War battlefields sets us apart.
It is a superb operation. First off, because of Rob, but it's very, very different.
We embrace small groups where intimacy, conversation, and friendship is at the forefront.
Well, I think what's unique is certainly everybody that comes has a different level of interest, but there's something for everybody on it.
It's where the spark would go to light the powder from a striking cap, or it's a pistol round. We're just not sure until we clean it. I found it over on one of the paths that we're walking on.
I think a lot of people offer tours. What they don't offer is the versatility that your Civil War weekend battlefield tour can do. We do a variety of tours and we tailor them not only to a particular client's interest in the Civil War, but also a client's particular needs as far as the amenities they seek. We've gone out and developed relationships with upscale inns and historic bed and breakfasts near all the major battlefields, such as the Keystone Inn in Gettysburg, the Kenmore Inn in Fredericksburg, the Babcock House Bed and Breakfast in Appomattox, the General's Quarters near Shiloh. And we could also arrange for the ground transportation. We can make restaurant recommendations, even arrange for lunches on the battlefield to maximize their time on the tour. It seems though from the feedback we get from our clients is that typically, any other tour that they have been on, they're in a bus with the tour guide who's kind of waving his arms left and right, pointing out the window to this is what you see on your left, but it's the same tour that they could have gotten the year before or the following year. Like I said, what we do is we ask a client ahead of time, do you have any particular interest in the war? And then we will go out and research that information and make it as personal as possible. Part of your Civil War weekend battlefield tour cost is the research time that our guide undertakes in order to research your particular interests, because we kind of like to focus on the your part of your Civil War weekend. We want to make this as personal an experience for you as possible. We've been very fortunate to date to receive some really good media publicity about our business. We've been featured twice in the Washington Post, Richmond Times-Dispatch, the Virginian Pilot, Southern Living Magazine, North and South Magazine. So we feel very fortunate, and we also, it validates the work that our business is doing.
It's informal and extremely educational. The people are extremely collegial. You met a good group of guys, very enjoyable and educational.
I'd like to read for you an account from E.P. Alexander, Porter Alexander, the famous artillerist, who writes a very valuable diary after the war that's heavily relied upon by contemporary historians because they consider him to be a very valuable witness. Alexander says, "For a long time our best efforts made very little impression upon the enemy's line, but somewhere between 1 and 2 hours after starting in, our right flank succeeded in carrying the Hazel Grove Ridge. General Stuart, who was at the spot at the moment, sent me word immediately to crown the hill with 30 guns. They were close at hand and all ready, and it was done very quickly, all of my own battalion not already in action being in the number. The position turned out to be one of great value."
Having first-hand accounts and readings from soldiers after action reports also again gives you the flavor of what it was like at the time and what those people were thinking that you're not going to get when you sit in a class or just attend a lecture.
Walking the ground and seeing the terrain and the conditions that the participants saw and were influenced by just opens the whole thing up to a much better, deeper understanding.
Among our favorite groups of clients are the relatives of Civil War soldiers. We've found over the years that those trips are most rewarding. We can take these relatives to the places where their kinfolk fought, come up with accounts, walk in their footsteps, and feel the emotional tug of events.
I would say that it's been important for me to go on these trips because I have a great-great-grandfather who was in the 44th New York Infantry, and though I knew a significant amount about his time in the Army and the Civil War, being on these trips with Rob has really enabled me to learn a lot more. I've really gained a much fuller appreciation for the problems he had and the problems the Army had when he was with them, and a much richer understanding of all of their experiences. It's been really touching and moving to explore all of that.
But you realize the first time you do it, that no matter how many maps you study and how many books you read, you don't really understand why things happen the way they did until you get on the ground.
Experience, I think, will be very broadening and enlightening for you and make you much more appreciative of our heritage and of the role that the Civil War in particular played in the creation of the America we know today.
Over the years that we've been doing battlefield trips, we've made many new great friends from across America and from overseas.
It's a wonderful opportunity to meet other people from different walks of life and get their perspective. You know, I'm in for the long run. I'll be back lots of times. I'm really excited each year. We really look forward to it.